Love music, love video, love muzu.tv. Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Jonas here with muzu.tv. I'm hanging out at my hotel before my performance tonight with Britney Spears. I'm on her tour, the European Femme Fatale tour. It's going really well so far. We've gone to about 4 or 5 different cities. I'm also here promoting my new album, Fast Life, that just kind of came out. So as it's slowly but surely dropping everywhere all over Europe, I'm here being able to kind of promote, tour, and play music. So hope you guys will enjoy this little video I'm making, and I'm going to be answering some fan questions. I got the opportunity to work with some incredible producers, the likes of Danger, Rob Knox, Brian Kennedy, Chris Brown, all of whom I really look up to as musicians and songwriters and producers. I remember early on in my project, I was trying to find the right person to work with. I got introduced to Danger, and almost overnight, him and I both were on the same playing field where we knew exactly where we wanted to go musically. So him and I got together and started creating and coming up with ideas and tracks and songs that made the most sense for the project we were going to do. So I was really happy to be able to work with him, and then furthermore, I was able to work with people like Danger, Rob Knox, and eventually Chris Brown, and came up with some really cool, exciting stuff. Doing this solo is definitely quite different. I think the biggest difference is just the fact that I'm traveling and touring and promoting all by myself. Usually when there's two other guys, you have other opinions kind of putting in the basket for songwriting and things like that. So I put a lot of the pressure on myself to make this as exciting and as passionate for me personally as I can. But there's times I miss them, but right now I'm enjoying this ride. I found inspiration for these songs from many places, especially relationships, things that I went through that I was kind of quiet about in my personal life stuff that I don't really say. But when it comes to songwriting, I feel like I'm able to really put it all down on paper and talk about it. So the fans, touring, my brothers, I've been able to pull from almost the past 6 years and jot it all down to come up with some new stuff. The process of doing photo shoots and stuff like that solo, it can be interesting, probably tiring, because usually when there's my brothers around, I can always just say, okay, when Nick's doing one shot by himself, I've got a nice time to take a break. But I think it's sometimes cool because fashion is something I'm very interested in, and to kind of be a part of details and then do some other stuff for other fashion magazines and things like that has been really cool. Me and my brothers, we started our own charity, Change for the Children. That was something we started early on in our career because we wanted to be able to give back in some way. And for me personally, money just wasn't always the thing I wanted to be able to give back with. I wanted to be able to somehow do some hands-on work. So I started this 5K fun run. So I was able to just get a bunch of my friends together to kind of support me, and we started this run where everybody's a winner, and nobody's the first, second, third place. Everybody gets a gold medal at the end, just for the fact that they went and supported and were able to put money into the Special Olympics. And it was a really great first event. There was about 600 people, and then the next one there was close to 2,000-3,000. And so it just grows and grows every time. Would I have considered doing X Factor or American Idol if we didn't get signed as a band? Me and my brothers, we talked about that. I don't know if really we would have been able to really go through with it, because that early on when we were that young, we still were trying to figure out how to play instruments. We were still trying to figure out how to sound as a band. And we learned that after our first record was released was when we really became close and we were able to find what we wanted to sound like. So it's an interesting thing. I think if I was my age now and still trying to do music, I could see myself probably going out for something like that. Do I have any plans for a UK and Ireland tour? Eventually, yes. I am planning my next year right now, 2012, and trying to come up with what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to tour in the States in the top of the year, and then hopefully in early spring I'll be coming back here. I do want to play another show, maybe a show on my own, maybe with another artist, but I've been loving seeing the fans, and there's been cities that I haven't been able to play concerts in. That's sometimes the toughest when you're touring and you travel to. I was in Milan yesterday, and I didn't get to play a concert for everybody. So there's sometimes that feeling you just wish you can play. So I'll be back for sure. Who is my celebrity crush? And what do I look for in a girl? Well, I could say what I look for in a girl. When I say celebrity crush, I tend to meet the person, and then there's this awkward kind of conversation. So I'll say what I look for. I guess somebody that's kind of fun, outgoing, and I think probably independent person. Kind of a family person is always really nice to find, and I think somebody that can make me laugh and understands what a crazy life and busy schedule I have. Which song in history do I wish I wrote? Probably Hey Jude. I think that's one of the greatest songs of all time, and a beautiful song. What's it like being back in Ireland without my brothers? I would say there's times when I walk into a hotel or I walk into a venue and I'll have flashbacks of when I was there with my brothers and how special it was. And so it's exciting for me to be here knowing they have their support, and then I'm making new memories for myself. But there's times I miss it for sure. My favorite gig ever would probably be a tie. I played at the White House for Paul McCartney, President Obama, Stevie Wonder, Elvis Costello. There's many artists and different politicians in the room, and me and my brothers, we were performing a Beatles song for Paul McCartney. They were awarding Paul McCartney on a life career achievement award, and that was quite incredible. And then I remember being in Mexico playing in front of like 90,000 people. And then I've performed at Times Square midnight many times too, so that was about 2 million people, I guess. I know the first time I met Paul McCartney and President Obama, that was quite amazing. I met Paul McCartney once before that, and I walked into one of the rooms in the White House, and there was Paul McCartney, there was President Obama, and I wasn't sure who to be more nervous about meeting. And I remember kind of talking to Paul McCartney and staring at President Obama and being like, "Oh my God, that's the president," and he was geeking out too, so I didn't feel so bad. If I only had one day to live, I would probably get my brothers together, do a concert, stream it online or something like that, play a big concert somewhere in the world, skydive. I've never skydived. I've always said I eventually will. And yeah. I sometimes get nervous when it's a small crowd. When there's a big crowd out there, I feel like it's almost a sea of people, and it's easier to kind of direct an audience like that. When it's just 2 or 3 or 10, and it's just when they're just kind of watching, they don't. I think everybody feels a little bit uncomfortable about being the first person to dance or sing along. So those kind of crowds can freak me out sometimes. Or if you're playing at the White House, I definitely will be nervous about that situation too. If I could go back in time to any decade, what decade and why? I think probably, well, I would say probably I would love to go back to the 70s. The music back then was incredible, and incredible vocalists, incredible bands, and I just love to go back and maybe see a Beatles concert.